G'day humans, Chris Stead here. I'm on the road and today I'm out at Yulara and the Ayers Rock Resort, which is where you're most likely to be staying if you come out to visit Uluru and Kata Tjuta. And in this video I'm going to take you on a tour of what is here so you know exactly what to expect and understand how it all works, so you're ready to hit the ground running when you arrive in one of the most spectacular places on earth. Let's go. Right, so behind me here is the town centre, and we're going to go for a bit of a tour in there in a second. I'm going to show you what it's all about. And now the way that it works is, Yulara and Ayers Rock Resort are kind of synonymous, and Ayers Rock Resort is this whole kind of space. All of it is the Ayers Rock Resort. There's not kind of a town that's separated from it. There's not, the different resorts are all within that grander resort, all the different hotels. The airport's probably about 10-15 minutes away, and they have free shuttles that go back and forth. There's not much out there. I know you can drop your rental cars out there. I know when I got a rental car, I had to pick it up from here. So you come off the plane, there'll be a couple of buses lined up. They know when the planes are arriving. There's not that many every single day, and they will give you a free transfer to your hotel and where you're staying. And that's kind of, there's no real distinction between the two. It's just you arrive at the airport and you get out of there as quick as possible and you get to here, Ayers Rock Resort, and that's what I'm going to give you a tour of and explain today. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start by taking you through the map and give you an idea of how it all works, and then we're going to start down kind of at Desert Gardens, which is kind of the first kind of hotel you'll hit, and then we'll come back up here and go through the town centre. All right, let's go. Okay, so here we are with the map, and I'll just take you through it. So there's a free shuttle. So you come in from the road here, and then there's a loop road, and there's a free shuttle that goes around that. It goes every 20 minutes from 10:30 in the morning till 12:30 at night. That's quite late. And you're basically, once you're in Ayers Rock Resort, which is this whole area, it's all open to you. So you might be staying in Desert Gardens over here, but you're welcome to go have dinner in Sails in the Desert, or the Outback Hotel, or indeed come and have a swim here, or a swim wherever you like. You're kind of free to do that. It's all part of the same idea. So I don't know if it's coming up on the map there, but you'll see there's little dotted trails that go through this area here. This is all kind of scrubland, and you can just walk between these places if you don't want to get to the shuttle. And it's quite nice at night. There's some subtle lighting. You still probably want a torch or something with you, but you can get a fantastic view of the stars. If you want to come over here, which is the Outback Hotel and Lodge, which is probably the most likely spot you might go and eat. It's a pub food. You can get a pizza for around $30, and and it's got a live band playing and drinks and good atmosphere, right? So Desert Gardens here, which I have done a review of, so you can go look at that up on the channel if you want to get a detailed look at Desert Garden Hotel. You got Emu Walk Apartments. Then up here you got the Sails in Desert, which is I've got the shadow there, Sails in the Desert, which is the 5-star option. I've got a full review of that up on the channel as well. You got the campground up here, and then you've got the Outback Hotel and Lodge, which I've also done a review of. So I've stayed here, Desert Gardens twice, and Sails in the Desert once. So you can find all that on the channel if you want to dive deeper and experience all that. Now over here is kind of the centre of Yulara. It's the centre of town. Here's where you're going to find your shops, your cafes, your stores, and pick up your rental cars from here as well. So that all happens here. And I'm going to show you all that. And then down here you have some like the theatres and the art gallery and so forth in this area. So that all kind of happens between Desert Gardens and Sails in the Desert. So that's kind of how it works. So yes, you can walk these distances quite easily. If that's not your go, like from Desert Gardens to Outback's probably about 10-minute walk, 15 max. Then there is that free shuttle bus that'll drop you around, depending on what you're after. Each of the hotels now has their own kind of place to eat, place to drink. Sometimes, most of them have a place to swim, I believe. And that's the layout. Okay, so here we are outside the Desert Gardens Hotel. And this is kind of where you're going to walk up towards, I'm going to walk you up towards the town centre here. I just want to show you, this is the Gallery of Central Australia. This is free to enter. You have some documentaries in there, and obviously some of the local art. So definitely well worth a visit. And one of the kind of cool things that you may not realise before you get here is that all day there's a bunch of free activities. There's didgeridoo workshops, there's a paint your own animal with that in Aboriginal art workshop. That's just today anyway. I mean, it might change day to day, but it's just looking up then. There's some family friendly stuff. There's guided walks through the gardens and bush yarns. There's a bush tucker experience you can have. So these are kind of scattered in various venues around the rock. There's an app, you just scan a QR code, it tells you when they're on, how to get there, what they're about. And they're all free to access to just fill out your day around all the bushwalking and hiking. Palia is the local tongue for welcome. And so we're just going to go through here, just past Emu Apartments. I do just want to show you the amphitheatre here. They can do some shows and events in here. The Arkarni Theatre, I think it's called. And there's the art gallery, which I won't go into because a lot of the art isn't to be viewed off country. But to give you an idea of the lay of the land. Here we go, telling you the free activities right here. So today there's a 10 a.m. movie, a 1 p.m. bush food experience, and a Capturing a Cosmos, which is an astrology experience, and then a 3 p.m. movie. And when it says movie, they mean documentary. So you can watch these in the theatre up here. Actually, no, the amphitheatre and the amphitheatre and the theatre are two different things. Sorry. So here's the amphitheatre down here. The outdoor environment, and then there's the theatre, which is where those experiences I just mentioned unfold, which is in here. There you go. Good place to come and escape the sun, because today's actually quite mild, but if you come here in the heat of the day and you go do all your stuff in the morning when it's least amount of heat, and then get back to your hotel midday and you spend that time in the pool. You can't go down there. Alright, I'm going to take you back to the Emu Apartments. But basically, you want to, the afternoons when it's the heat of the day is probably when you want to be back here, either swimming in the pool, doing some of these cultural experiences. So going inside that theatre where it's nice and cool and no flies and so forth is definitely an option. Alright, so I haven't actually stayed in Emu Apartments, so I can't tell you too much about them other than to say that they're obviously more apartment-like, potentially the best place for families, although I think that Outback Hotel's good value for money, but you can go check those reviews out that I've done for more information. Alright, let's go through here into the centre of town. So here's the entrance, is where you go for your shuttle bus, or you might walk in from the way that we've just walked through the Emu Apartments, and you'll find the lawn gallery. And this is where you're going to see some of the activities that I was talking about before that all happen here. I think the bush yarns happen here. I've seen a didgeridoo out here before in the past. There's a little tent over there it's got paint splattered over it. I think there must have been a workshop there at some point. And over there's Emu Apartments. And up that way, Sails in the Desert. Kind of around this spot, you can see here they've actually had a campfire here. That must have been last night. Some fresh charcoal. Big nice open grassy area, lovely breeze coming through, lots of natural sunlight, very nice, but it's not a very big space as we're going to go and have a look at now. So there's an excellent cafe in here, it's good coffee, good pies, and a whole bunch of souvenir shops, and then the IGA, or at least there was an IGA last time I came here, which is an important one to know. Okay, let's have a look. So here's your cafe in there. And let's follow the cafe around. So it's easy to walk up here, get a coffee in the morning, get something to eat. The restaurants, everything's a bit more pricey than back in Sydney, for example. The remoteness, obviously, but it's not horrifically bad. Like I said, a pizza for I got a pizza from the Outback Hotel for I think it was $31. It was a really big pizza. I ended up having for breakfast as well. So you can see here some of the souvenir stores. There's plenty of them. Things to get. Lots of people shopping in there. And there's also a hair and beauty salon at the back. Fly nets as well. So you got 2 for $20 there. $12 in total for one. Okay, more souvenir shops here. The Uluru shop. This is where I bought the hat that you see in all my videos. I bought the hat, I think it was from here. It was from here 8 years ago. They don't sell it here anymore. Jackaroo, unfortunately. This is kind of a bit more of a high level shop, this one. So it's kind of a bit more premium stuff. Got Ayers Rock designs over here. Obviously you got this whole central spot as well. You can have, yeah, just a nice chilled, relaxed vibe to it. More so than a kind of party vibe. I have seen people playing instruments in there before in the past. There's the gallery. I don't know. Yeah, it's advertising the gallery, which we've already gone past. Post office, of course. And the supermarket, which yes is still an IGA. So $3.49 for bananas, that's even cheaper than home. You can see here, so I thought I'd run through and just quickly show you. Yeah, it's a proper supermarket. It's got a lot of stuff. But you know, $5.80 for a Coke. So don't expect typical IGA prices. Here's some tuna. So $8.40 for 4 cans of tuna, it's not too bad. Yeah, it's going to feed you. You need it. Peanut butter, $5.85. Milk, $6. Juice is $5. Yeah, so that'll give you a bit of an idea. So don't expect to get the cheapest of prices, but it's not going to blow you away either. Cheese, however, $13 for a 30 pack. And there's also frozen goods as well. So you can take that back to your room if you've got the means, or yeah, otherwise. Let's walk down one of these aisles. Here we go. Here's the rice, $5.45. If you want to take that over to the Outback Hotel, and cook yourself up some of that. You can just get you some cup of noodles for $2.95 each. Yeah, so they're right. It's an expensive place to be, but you don't have to eat expensive. That's the point I'm trying to make. There are options out here, and it's not going to destroy your budget. $3.50 here for some pasta, $5.50 for some sauce to go with it. Done. Family fed. Alright, there you go. Oops, so I forgot to mention, just here behind the IGA is this parking lot. This is where I picked up and dropped off my hire car when I came here. So if you're wondering where it is, it's here. And you can see the Hertz sign in the back there. There's a few others, Thrifty. But yeah, this is where it is. Now the supermarket is really important to know about because, like I said, eating in the restaurants can be quite expensive. Especially if you're here on a budget, which I've been previously. You want to be able to, eat light, go down to the Outback Hotel where they've got a camp kitchen, for example. That's where you can go buy yourself like baked beans, a loaf of bread, some milk, some cereal, bits and pieces like that, so you can kind of keep the expense down, still eat well. So it's important to know of its existence. The tour info centre, obviously always handy for the reasons it should be obvious. There we go. Open till 5 o'clock. You can book a lot of your tours here. I have done a bunch of these tours if you want to keep an eye on the channel. Done the sunrise, the sunset, done the field of lights, done the big dinner experience over the course of my 4 visits here. Alright. Here's a water station. Again, always awesome to know. And we'll circle back around here. Ayers Wok Restaurant. Let's see if I can find a menu for you. Here we go. I don't know if that's going to come out crispy fries, $12. Poke bowl, 27. Garden salad, I can see that it's not looking good on camera. So I'll read it out to you. Caesar salad's 26. Pizzas for 32. Burgers for 35 for a beef and bacon burger, and that's up there. Some mains here, we've got some beef bolognese for 32. Chicken schnitzel for 32. Palmies, 36. Children's menu, fish and chips, $18. Wow. So that's what I mean. When you come out here with a family, you're better off going to IGA, to be honest. Depending on what you can afford. Yeah. There's some fish and chips right there. And the heaters are on, which is cool. But it is quite chilly today, about 14, 15 degrees. Alright, so that's a quick lap of what you can expect from the town centre. So yeah, like I said, not very big, not very deep, but yeah, kind of all the bits and pieces you need. Look at the bird up there. Alright, there you go. Okay, now all around the resort, in the central area, in the middle of that loop road, there's Imalung Lookout, which is a sand dune right in the middle up here. And you can follow the tracks up to it, and up there is where you're going to get a pretty awesome view of Uluru and also Kata Tjuta and out over the countryside. And the hill is more or less right in the centre of this open space, and all roads kind of lead to it. So you can just walk up there, sunset, or whenever you feel like it. If you need to get an eyeful of the spectacular wonder of the natural world that is Uluru. Yeah, at Yulara and the Ayers Rock Resort. I hope that was of use to you. If you want to go check out those accommodation options, I've got reviews of those that I mentioned before, and plenty of other content going up from around the area as well, to help you be inspired and know what you're getting into when you decide to come out here, which I sure hope you do, because it is one of the most spectacular places on the earth, and you never feel anything but autumn when you're out here. Really love it out here, it's great. Anyway, I'm Chris Dead. Thank you very much for watching. Till next time, I'm getting back on the road. You.